Back here at home, some women have more insight into their health after getting a chance to ask doctors directly about their concerns. UMC gave them the opportunity at its Talk with the Docs Women's Health Uncovered event this evening. The hospital brought its experts to answer the questions of many women who showed up at the Health and Wellness Hospital at 110th and Slide. The subjects included preventative care, fertility, and conditions that affect women as we age. And then they answered anonymous questions from the audience. A popular one involved pregnancy and GLP-1 weight loss medication.
There's no doubt that weight loss and health improvement and improving glucose and insulin sensitivity can improve pregnancy, but not if you're on a medication that's not safe when you conceive. So this is a national recommendation, advise being off of it for 8 weeks before conception.
Another frequently asked question, you do not have to wait a year to seek fertility treatment if you're having trouble getting pregnant. Doctors say age is the biggest factor, so if you're over 40, your referral is almost automatic.